Data management and business intelligence. If you're managing an independent hotel in Europe, you know exactly what it's like to handle an absolute mountain of information every single day. Every single booking, every supplier order, every time a guest checks in, it all generates valuable details, right? Today, we're exploring how to completely transform the way you handle all of this. We're talking about shifting away from scattered, messy records and moving towards a beautifully unified structure that actively supports your daily operations and your broader commercial strategy.
Think about your typical day for a second, and the tech stack your team actually relies on. You've got your property management system, the point of sale at the bar, your financial tools, your revenue platforms, and yes, they all generate incredibly useful information. But here's the catch. They often operate in total isolation. You've probably seen your team manually copying and pasting numbers from one screen to another, losing precious hours to administrative bottlenecks. And the worst part? You miss the bigger picture simply because your software tools refuse to speak the same language.
The difference between putting up with fragmented systems and operating within a connected environment is, frankly, night and day. When your digital tools are acting alone, just trying to get a clear view of your business becomes a heavy manual chore. But when you transition to a unified digital infrastructure, operational agility naturally becomes the standard. Your different departments, from housekeeping all the way to finance, start working from a single, reliable source of truth. They're pulling together to boost efficiency, instead of constantly fighting against disjointed software. Centralizing data, normalizing information, and organizing for analysis. Getting to that connected state requires a seamless process behind the scenes. We gather all that scattered operational data from across your property, normalize it to create a coherent baseline, and organize it so it's actually ready to be analyzed. And the best part? Your team just keeps using their familiar applications with zero disruption. The interfaces they already know stay exactly the same. What changes is simply how the underlying information is structured, cleaned, and shared across the board.
The engine behind all this connectivity is an API, or Application Programming Interface. In plain terms, it's a connection method that lets different software systems communicate and exchange data seamlessly. Through custom API integrations, we facilitate a smooth, silent conversation between your existing tools. It effectively eliminates that frustrating software fragmentation and removes the need for your staff to do endless manual data entry. The information just flows naturally to exactly where it's needed most.
By building these invisible bridges, we can connect reservations, operations, finance, and marketing data into one living ecosystem. So whether you're tracking daily occupancy rates, keeping an eye on supplier costs, monitoring your physical inventory, or evaluating marketing leads, these separate streams are finally joined together. This integration gives you comprehensive oversight. You can actually see the direct relationship between, say, an online marketing campaign and your actual on-the-ground productivity. So, how do we turn all this raw data into strategic action? Because let's face it, just collecting numbers is really only step one. To truly optimize an independent hotel, we need to shift our focus from simply hoarding information to generating active, useful intelligence. We need to move past asking what just happened and start understanding why did it happen, and more importantly, what should we do next to increase sales?
Well, this brings us perfectly to business intelligence. Look, a number on its own means very little. It only takes on value when it's placed in context with your specific hotel environment. Think of business intelligence as the vital bridge between merely collecting those numbers and actually understanding the day-to-day reality of your performance. It's all about transforming contextualized data into useful answers, giving you exactly what you need for highly informed decision-making.
Defining a hypothesis, accessing custom dashboards, and extracting actionable answers. The actual flow of business intelligence is deeply practical. You start with a specific commercial question or hypothesis about your operations. Then, you access custom dashboards built specifically for your needs and instantly extract strategic answers. By interacting with dynamic visual reports and playing around with the filters, your precise questions lead directly to targeted insights that actively inform and improve your strategy. Moving away from assumptions and relying on an objective interpretation of your business really does change everything. Instead of basing your management choices, like pricing strategies or purchasing decisions, on gut feelings, they become backed by the factual realities of your hotel's performance. It's about replacing guesswork with absolute clarity through a data-driven strategy. When you do this, key performance indicators like ADR, RevPAR, margins, and operational productivity suddenly tell a very clear story about your operational health. You can accurately track deviations in supplier costs, evaluate your revenue per available room, or monitor profitability by business line, literally at a glance. Even checking cancellation ratios across your different booking channels becomes immediate, highly visual, and actually insightful.
Now, you might be wondering, what is the differential value for an independent European hotel specifically? Operating in Europe obviously means navigating very specific standards, guest expectations, and strict regulatory frameworks. Our tailored approach to data management is explicitly designed to bring direct, practical advantages to this unique geographical and commercial context. A major pillar of this is European data sovereignty. This simply means processing data securely and exclusively within the European Union. We treat your hotel's data as a highly valuable asset, protecting it meticulously on servers located strictly within the EU. This robust approach naturally facilitates regulatory compliance whilst providing complete transparency and security for your business operations.
And unlike rigid, one-size-fits-all software packages, this modular approach scales with you naturally. Instead of forcing your unique daily operations into a prepackaged box that might be way too large or too small for your current needs, you activate only the specific digital services your hotel requires, exactly when you need them. It's a level of flexibility that allows your infrastructure to adapt effortlessly as your commercial objectives evolve over time.
Unifying criteria, improving data quality, and empowering workflows. Ultimately, proper data governance does exactly this. When everyone, from the front desk to the back office, works with the exact same high-quality, centralized information, those frustrating duplicate entries just disappear. Your entire team performs much more effectively, meaning they can focus entirely on delivering a fantastic guest experience rather than navigating endless administrative bottlenecks.
Every action leaves a mark. Interpreted data provides the vision. It's a powerful thought, really. It reminds us that every single guest interaction, every supplier order, and every routine operational task holds valuable insights. When these marks are properly understood and contextualized, they guide your independent hotel toward its medium and long-term objectives, helping you navigate the competitive European market with total clarity.
Shall we talk